Hey guys, it's Tina of My Brown Sparkles. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I wanted to take some time to discuss with you guys a big part of the reason why I created My Brown Sparkles and specifically my YouTube channel for My Brown Sparkles. And that is conscious consumerism. I want it to circulate in my community as much as possible first before I go giving it to any big brands, any larger companies, any company way over there, in that state over there, in that country over there. Like really, I want my dollar to circulate within my community so that it can benefit me as well, enrich the people around me. When you build up the people around you, you're building up yourself as well. You want to be around people who are being uplifted because iron sharpens iron, right? I love my country, I really do, but living in this country can be like living in a minefield. Like there are so many positives and advantages that this country has, but it's like this crazy video game where like it literally feels like living in a video game. Like there's so much good positive that can come from living here and, you know, knowing your stuff. But at the same time, if you cannot be idle in this country. This country we have not created that environment, and I'm gonna get there, but we have not yet created the environment where we can just be idle. I think about a friend long ago, before she moved to Italy, like how when she first visited, she told me one of the big things that stood out to her was how you always saw a lot of elderly just walking around, living their lives, not looking stressed, just living their lives, like, and being able to live. And we live here, and a lot of people don't even know how they're gonna retire, and a lot of older people are working to an older age because they don't have retirement set up and because they did not save for retirement, and our social security system doesn't really pay them enough to live, especially with the inflation that's going on in our country right now. And I like to think like 10, 20 years ahead of like, what do I want my life to look like in 10 to 20 years? And so I start doing whatever I need to do to get there now, because 10 and 20 years ago, I wasn't thinking like that, and I ended up here, which is in a bad place. Like I'm still blessed. I have my health, which is the most important thing, praise God. But I'm not where I thought I would be at this age. And it's because I did not plan for this age. So I'm planning for 10, 20 years down the line. And I'm doing that with my spending habits now. So some of the roadblocks that we have to building a better society for everything, where our healthcare is better, where our living situations are better, more affordable. We don't live in constant stress. We're not constantly thinking where the next dollar is going to come from. It's going to be, we're going to have to be very mindful about combating the following things. One of those things is mindless consumption. So we are going to have to be more aware of just mindless consumption and coming into contact with marketing through TV and social media. Social media is not the devil. Television commercials are not the devil, but when those things kind of play in the background, they are simply programming you. Television programming is called programming for a reason. It's programming you. You might not even realize that you're being programmed to want to constantly buy things and to get things that you don't need, compare yourselves to your neighbors, your friends, and things like that. But that's what it's doing. So with social media, I like to use my social media as a way to find brands and businesses that I want to support. Sometimes it does take a little extra legwork to find businesses that sell the products that you need within your community. And so it does take a little extra work, but if you're going to be scrolling on social media anyways, make it something useful, you know? So that's what I'll do, and I'll save it. There's always that option to save on Instagram or on Facebook. When you see something, sometimes I'll screenshot something if I really want to remember it later. And then when it comes time for me to actually make that purchase, I'll remember that I saved that item, and let me go back and take a look at what the company has to offer so that I can go and actually spend money with them when I'm ready to. So that's how I use social media. I use social media as a tool rather than letting social media use me, because we all know that the social media companies, specifically Facebook and TikTok, they're gathering your information and they're selling it off to companies who are putting these ads out there to get you to come and buy and spend money with them. Another roadblock that we face in bettering our communities through financial wellness and conscious consumerism is not knowing where your money is going, period. Just having poor financial habits is one way to just get used and tossed to the side. That's really what it is. Like, this country will use and abuse you if you let it. It'll suck your money dry, suck your pockets dry if you let it. If you get caught up in all the glitz and glam of living in this country and trying to keep up with everybody and wear the latest designers, drive the latest cars, have the latest electronics, just everything. And if you're not good with your spending habits, you're never going to be able to be a conscious consumer. So the first step really is getting good with your spending. I like to think that my subscribers, and I've said this in the beginning, that my subscribers are savvy. Y'all are already there. Y'all are already, financially well. You're mindful of your spending and you know where your money's going. So once you know where your money's going, you can start to set some time aside to really think, how do I want to impact my community? Where can I make an impact in my community? And who in my community can I support and buy their products in place of, maybe going to Sephora, or in place of going to Walmart, or in place of Amazon. And I'm not saying don't ever shop. I'm not giving up Sephora anytime soon, but I can actually pull back some of the money that I would normally spend at Sephora. Like recently, I would normally buy a face wash at Sephora, but then I went to CVS or HEB, my local grocery store, big box, the big chain grocery store at that. But I was like, you know what? I don't really need to buy this expensive face wash. I'll just get a basic face wash here at the grocery store because that's really all I need. I need Sephora for the high quality makeup, or for the, specific products that target specific skin issues like hyperpigmentation. I'll go there and get, some serums or, acid treatments for my face. Well, now I'm taking it one step further, and I went, okay, so I'm almost out of face wash. I could go back to HEB, the grocery store, and get some basic face wash, or I could get some face wash from this local skincare brand here at this Maker's Market, which is what I did. And I actually purchased recently, yesterday, I actually got some black honey face wash from, the company is juneandsage.co. I'll put their information down in the description box below if you're interested in checking them out. But they have wonderful natural skincare, and it's apothecary and wellness brand. So they do skincare, they have teas, they have a line of different products, and it just really resonated with me. I love that kind of stuff. And so this face wash is exactly what I needed. It's something simple, all natural ingredients, because on this channel I'll talk about clean beauty. I used it yesterday for the first time. Its base is African black soap, that's why it has that brown color. But it's also filled with good stuff like aloe vera, turmeric. Turmeric is good for hyperpigmentation for my brown ladies. It's nice and light. The soap works well. I only needed to use one pump, one lather to get everything off my skin. And this is what I spent my money on for my skin. Instead of going to the grocery store and getting basic skincare, I upgraded a little bit and supported a local business, because not only is it going to be good for my skin, it's going to be good for the community's pocket, which in turn comes back to me. Another roadblock that we face when we're trying to be conscious consumers is our desire to get things fast. So not delaying gratification is going to hinder you when it comes to making a big impact in your community, in your state, in your country. It starts at the local level and it expands to the city. Like, your local city might be a big city, but in your community, how every city has its sides. There's the north side, the east side, the west side, the south side. When you frequent your side, you're spending money within your community, with your neighbors, businesses, all of that. You're enriching your little pocket of that city. That expands to the outer city as well. And then that expands to the state level, and that expands to the nation. And that's how we really are going to have that ripple effect that changes our country over time. But if you cannot delay gratification, then you're going to have really hard trouble making any kind of change in your life, but the life that you see around you as well, because you don't have any self-control. You're gonna have to have some self-control. You're gonna have to learn what your needs are and your wants. You're gonna have to have a needs pile and a wants pile. The needs pile takes priority. The wants is something you get to dabble in every so often as a little treat to yourself. Next month is a no spend month for me, so I did some treating this month. Every so often I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna support these businesses. I'm gonna go see whose businesses are worthy of my money first off. So I'm not shirking quality. Quality still needs to be there. But the community aspect of it is important as well. And I'm now bridging the two a little bit more. I've always been more mindful about it, but it's very apparent to me how much more it is needed. It is needed. I cannot stress this enough. And I want to know your opinions down in the comment. How do you feel about this topic? Because I've seen comment threads on other videos and I'm just like, I don't want to say I'm disgusted, but I'm just like, dang, people still sleep. I see it happening in other communities and I'm like, this is definitely my wake-up call to do better with my money. Do better within my community because it's needed. It's so needed. And these business owners, they're showing their kids what it means to be a business owner, how to be a business owner. They're showing their kids that there are other options for work. You know, they don't have to try to grow up to try to be a celebrity, a basketball player, or, you know, not even a doctor if they don't want to. They can become an entrepreneur. And we are showing our youth exactly what is important by how we as adults spend our money and how we spend our free time. So it's important and I love it. I love the conversation and I just hoped that it's well received, but I hope that my subscribers particularly are able to share ways that they are supporting their local communities. Now, the last thing I wrote down for the roadblocks to conscious consumerism is actually spending your dollar outside of your community. I think that it's a hindrance to you and your community because that money is not coming back to you. That money is not going to come back to you. Your kids are in school with their classmates. Their parents probably own businesses. You may own a business. And when you spend your money out there instead of at your neighbors, like, you're supporting the people around you, literally, like your neighborhood. That dollar is working around the neighborhood first, and then you go out and you spend it somewhere else. But make sure if you can get it where you are, you spend it in that area, and then you go. That's how I view it. When you spend your money somewhere else, someone else's child is getting all that money, that college education, that upliftment, that nourishment, and it's not going to come back to you because they ain't gonna, when they get the money, they spend it within their community. They're staying within their community and they're spending it there, and it's never coming back to you. If you're cool with that, that's fine. But I like to know that the money that I'm doing not only is helping someone else, but it's also going to enrich my area. I want to be around educated people. I want to be around people who are upwardly mobile, and I do that by finding the people that are upwardly mobile, entrepreneurial, making good products, giving good customer service, all of that, and I patronize their businesses. And there's people out there, I've seen comments on threads saying bad customer service for some communities and things like that. Well, then go find someone else. You give someone a shot. If it doesn't work out, if you don't like it, then you go find someone else. And yes, it might take time to find, but it's worth it. I'm telling you, it is so worth it.